Hello, it's me again. I'm doing another video because the last time I did a video, my fibro was fully active and I was not doing that great. And I know that I was having some neurological issues at the time. And apparently one of my friends on Facebook didn't like that I did the video and accused me of being a drug addict and attention seeking and all kinds of fun stuff like that. And I had mentioned in the video that we don't need to be putting our thoughts and feelings strongly off on other people. I have a disability that is very misunderstood. And it's hard enough on me when people that don't know me go after me because they're assuming. And it's even worse when somebody who does know me and does know better goes after me because they're having a bad day or their friend got killed in a traffic accident, which I think was what the real problem was. But I took her off my Facebook because she was just freaking out, and people who she didn't know what she was talking about were telling her she does the same thing because she does, and the same things that she's accusing me of doing. She didn't mention me, but I knew what she was talking about because of what she was saying. So she's not my friend anymore. Um, and it is okay to cut off people who behave that way. I mean, um, if we want the world to get better, we gotta be nicer to each other. We gotta be more understanding about things that we don't have any control over. I'm not sure what to say about drug addicts because technically they have control, but there's also other things. Once you become an addict, you kind of have to either adjust your entire life around the fact that if you even think you saw the drug, you're gonna want drugs. Um, yeah, and that can be really difficult, and we have to be understanding of people who are in recovery. And I think we should be, even if we don't understand why somebody would do to the drugs in the first place, we should be encouraging of them and try to figure out how to get them to actually get the help that they need instead of letting them demand what they want, because a lot of times what people want is not what they need. I was As I'm saying that, I walked away not moving very fast because I somehow managed to hurt myself the other night. I don't know if I'd slept funny or if I'd injured myself earlier in the day and it hadn't shown up. Because that happens. So I wasn't moving real fast. I'm really slow today. It's like almost 1 o'clock, and I haven't even done anything except do the morning chores and go to the store. But I walked up on a really questionable situation, and there were two homeless people in a green, kind of like a Blazer type car. Um, but it wasn't a Blazer. It was a little longer. I really suck at models, the car models. I'm really suck at that. And oh, I forgot Jasper. I'll be right back. Excuse me, G. Excuse me. Oh, this is Jasper. He's probably been on here before. He's a little stinker, so I have to put him in the basement or in the bathroom when I leave the house, or he tries to go outside, and then it's chaos ensues. Okay. But anyway, when I was walking up, because I'm limping, um, they were watching me. And then as I got around to where I was going into Fred Meyer's parking lot, um, a little girl comes around the corner and they start watching her. So she's probably like 10. She's not like real little, but still. I realized what's going on and I sped up. They took off. Thank God. I feel like I stopped somebody from hurting a child. I don't know why people in this day and age, especially in an area like this, would let a child go anywhere by herself. Um, but she did seem to be on the phone with somebody. She seemed to be acting like she thought I was doing something wrong, but I had only sped up to get closer to her because I realized what was going on in the car. The problem we have with the camp is that there's a lot of weirdness involving sex trafficking going on with that camp, and that's part of the reason why people want them out. Um, I don't think the sex trafficking is actually going on in the camp, but a lot of the people who are doing it are associated with the camp. And it could be because they're trying to take off with the homeless women, because a lot of them are very desperate. It could be because this isn't the greatest neighborhood. Most of the people that live here are broke, busted, but most of the people that actually legit live here are very nice people. Um, but the people from the camp, they don't give us, me personally, a lot of problems, but there's some that do. I'm hoping that they move on and they go somewhere else, and that other people become, and that people are aware that there are people out there that are like that. They will harm a child. They will try to force you to do things you don't need to be doing. Um, Got to be very careful these days. Um, just heard a car door. Um, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on right now. There's something at the school. The kids are out for spring break, so they're doing work on the school. It does look like an older building, so it probably needs some stuff. Um, but yeah, I don't know why people think they can um, hurt other people like that, and that they feel like they could get away with it. Now, if I'd have had to mess one of them up, I would have done it. I would have risked winding up in the hospital to save that kid, to protect that kid. Um, because this little 10-year-old girl that I don't even know is more valuable to me than some tweaker in a car who's trying to force someone else to make money for them because they're too lazy to go get a job, or and too difficult to prove that they have a disability. I mean, there are legitimate reasons for going on disability and other types of programs, but you have to be able to prove that you need that help, which means you have to go to doctor. Sometimes you have to go to psychiatrist. Sometimes you have to go to do things you don't want to do that maybe are uncomfortable, but they have to prove that you're disabled to get help. I've done a lot of things to prove that I'm disabled. Um, Actually got a call back from my attorney yesterday, and we are starting my appeal because Social Security denied me, saying I don't have enough evidence because we can't get the documents from when I was a kid. Um, yeah, should have put that in a computer because I think that we actually did have computers before the courthouse burned down in I think 80. I mean, normal people, your day-to-day people didn't have computers, but government agencies did. And I don't know why they didn't put the records on a computer. But the courthouse in Olympia, I think it was, burnt down in 1980, if I'm remembering correctly, and a lot of people's important records like birth and death and marriage, yeah, your medical history, that all burned up. So they can't find it anymore. And after that, they put the documents that they found in the computer system, and some of them were misfiled, which is what they're thinking with my birth certificate. Though my birth certificate might have actually been purposefully misfiled because of the way my mom is. I don't know. Just don't know how to prove or disprove half the shit she says. So that's just where we is. Um, but yeah, I figured I'd do a post because I'm just I just don't know how to feel about the way some people are. I mean, they're just so hyper critical, hyper negative, selfish, abusive in some cases. We aren't supposed to we don't need to put up with that. We also do need to know, because I was watching somebody that, people can't remember everything that triggers us. So we can't be like, oh, don't do that because it triggers me. I mean, we could tell somebody, oh yeah, it just, you move funny. My brain thought something else was happening. I'm working on it. Post-traumatic stress, I'm working on it. Yeah, that's an appropriate response to triggers, because people have so many different triggers. The trigger thing isn't just like, there there were things that are normally triggering, like loud noises and people getting mad at you for seemingly no reason, or people saying that you did something wrong but not telling you what you did. That kind of stuff is triggering. But there were other things that trigger people depending on what they've been through. Because if you grew up in a situation like I did, where your mom and the people that your dad died when you were little, your mom and the people that she has around you are just disgusting, and you just don't know what anything means. Because if they go, that means they're going to punch you. But if somebody else tenses up, they might be having an issue, or, you know, whatever. My brain is still not wanting to work, but it's doing better than it was the other day. Yeah, I think we just need to work on being better people, and just in general. Like, all some of these things that people talk about being um bad, or that's your personal opinion. I don't have problems with people that aren't like me, that maybe have a lifestyle that would have been considered sacrilegious back when I was a kid. Because I'm not a kid anymore. Things change. We don't know. We evolve, and sometimes we evolve when we're accepting some things that maybe don't make sense or didn't make sense to a lot of people. And it's just that this part of evolving. Like, is this, you go through, like, these changes as concepts are kind of new, because I don't know if some of the stuff that's going on is actually new, but just being accepted is new. So there's a bit of a process as people start to become aware, and become more accepting. And I'm just trying to be open-minded, and, like, because it's not my business. Not my business. It's your business. You want to talk to me and be my friend and tell me your honest business? That's fine. Um, just don't go too far. I don't want to, there's some things I don't want to know. um, but yeah, I have friends that are trans. I have friends that have questionable lives, other types of questions and questionable lives. Um, I have friends that are active addicts. I have friends that are recovering addicts. Um, I'm trying to be supportive of them, because it's a really big step to try to fix it. And it's not going to be just like overnight. As I watch my cousin, who I love a lot, just destroy his life over and over and over, because he can't leave the drugs and the chicks alone. Yeah, he has a lot of problems with picking the wrong chick, and then she like destroys his life, and then he acts like he couldn't have seen it coming, and everybody else is like, yeah, maybe part of your drug recovery needs to be celibacy. Because he's missing the stuff. He's not picking up on what's actually happening, probably because of the drugs. I love him. If I could do anything to help him to stop doing that, I would. But there ain't a whole lot I can do. He got into some heavy stuff, and that's really hard. He has to literally, most likely, he will literally have to check into a long-term rehab program, which is really hard to get if they're even available. Because the drugs he's gotten into are that hard. It's really hard to cold turkey meth. It does so much to you. It actually can cause some significant issues when you go off of it, and you can actually die from the withdrawals, and it can take a long time to just get past that phase of it. And then because it messes with your head, it fucks with your body, it just messes you up so bad. And it's a lot to go through just to recover, and to be able to not go back. And I wish I could get him to do that. But the thing is, it's his choice, and I can't make him. I can just be supportive of him as when he tries to get clean. And then I'm very supportive of my friends who are recovering alcoholics, because that's also tough. It's not as hard to rehab from alcohol, though, depending on how much drink, you can actually be dangerous. But there's still a lot of, it's endemic with our culture that a lot of people want to go out for beer, and a lot of people want to serve wine at a wedding, stuff like that. So it's really, really, really hard to be a recovering alcoholic when the culture's like, yeah, just one's fine, and without realizing that if an alcoholic drinks that just one, it's not going to be fine. And I will say, with all of my health problems in my past, I am very glad that I'm not a drug addict, that I'm not an alcoholic, that I haven't fallen into some of the traps, that I'm not prostitute, that a lot of the people who have been treated the way I have do. And I'm trying so hard to feel like I belong and to be part of the community that oftenly seems to hate me. And I don't know if that's me perceiving that as their misunderstandings as hatred, or if they actually hate me. So that's something I know a lot of people struggle with. We just need to be better at peopling. We need to be kinder to each other. We need to try to understand what other people might be going through, because you can't understand everything. I mean, like, it's really tough when my niece freaks out about her sister, because my other niece was killed in a car accident. It was horrifying. And it's hard. There's questions about what happened there that we'll never get the answer to, because the people who know the answer are dead. And that's the hard truth of it. And it's really hard to watch my cousin go, or my niece go through that. But I'm trying to be supportive. She's getting better. I mean, it takes a while, especially with that just horrible and sudden, and nobody expected it. I'm glad her son wasn't in the car. And that's just, but it's hard to watch her go through that, but I can't take it away from her. I can't understand how she's feeling, because my sister's not dead. She drives me nuts sometimes. I think that's what siblings do to each other. But she's not dead. I think it's really normal for siblings to get on your nerves, by the way. Because they kind of get this, I know you better than anybody else kind of attitude, and start trying to tell you who you are sometimes, because they just kind of goes over their head that you've changed since whatever they're talking about. But yeah, siblings can be a pain in the ass even when you're an adult, but as long as you don't like make it a big deal or a big problem, it's usually fine. But yeah, my sister's still around, so I don't know what it's like to lose your sister, especially like that. So though it's hard for me, I try not to comment too much. Because I want to try to support my niece. She has two beautiful little girls who seem to have some physical, possibly developmental issues, and I want to be there to support her and to encourage her to be the best mom that she can, and like to be able to offer advice for things that her kids are going through, um, like things like when to take them to the doctor, and like you got to pay attention to this or that, uh, because she's young and she's had them close together, and there's a lot you just don't know when you're young. There's a lot you just don't know when you're young. You think you know, but you don't. And I'd like to be able to be there and to be supportive for her, for the girls, so that she can be the best mom that she can. And so I don't want to be too critical about what she's going through over her sister. Um, So it's just, it can be very hard to deal with stuff like that. But me, I don't, no, I didn't even cry. I mean, I was in shock. I didn't cry. I still haven't cried. I don't know why. I haven't cried. It just doesn't make any sense. But I also have complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and that could have something to do with it. Because when you have complex CPTSD, um, you don't always show your emotions because, like, especially for me, I know a lot of us have been in the situations that create that kind of a deep level of stress disorder, traumatic stress, I should say. We've been in situations where if we show emotion at all, it's going to get worse. So that's probably why I didn't cry. It's not that I didn't feel anything, it's just I kind of shut off. My emotions went numb. I didn't know how to process it. Maybe I will cry at some point. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it. But I've seen so much death also in my life that I might be getting what's it called? Not immune, but there's another word. Um Oh well, it's, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. It's my brain not wanting to work, so I don't want to waste too much time being stupid or coming off as stupid. Because I'm not. My brain just doesn't always let me show you how smart I am. Um, but yeah, I've been talking for a while, so I should probably pop off. I'm gonna try to do these more often, but I can't always guarantee that I'll have enough topics. So I'm gonna encourage people to to give me some topic ideas, and I can, if I don't know it, I can look it up and find it, because I found out, I looked up symptoms that I was having to try to figure out what was actually going on, and figured out it was a muscle strain. Um, well, excuse me, and I was just better than a kidney infection, which is what I originally thought it was. Yeah, so I could look stuff up. I also have kind of watched some people that are actual trained psychiatrists, or people that have been through shit before. Um, and yeah, I know I swear a lot. I have, I'm missing like 3 or 4 filters, and so that makes it hard when I try to communicate, because it just comes out, it just falls out. And I feel like I have Tourette's syndrome, but I don't think I actually do. I mean, I could. It's just that some doctors think that men are the only ones that get it. It's not true. Women have it too. But I don't think I do. So it's just my brain is broken. I've been through a hell of a lot. But yeah, now I'm just mumbling. Yeah, I'm gonna pop off of here, and I'm gonna try to get some stuff done before dinner. Um, uh, yeah. So I'll talk to you guys later, and I hope you all have a good day. And like I said, if you got topics for me to try to do one on, just let me know, and I'll look it up. If I don't know, I'll look it up. I'll talk to you later. Bye.